Welcome to the Game Changer Podcast. Today's topic, injury, discouragement, and triumph. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Top of the morning, welcome back. This is the Game Changer Podcast with Setema Gali. You guys better get your minds right and get up and let's go. See, it's more than the game that we changing.
I had two podcasts about my son. One, the whole out of shape thing, and then two, his improvement. Like, he's everything I tell him to do and we coach him on, and that his coaches coach him on, like he's really internalizing it and putting it into action. Well, last night, right, I think we're 4 games in, and he's killing. He's doing so well. His technique, his get off, his stance, his hand placement, blocking to the whistle, like it's all good. And then he goes in on defense. And as soon as I saw the play develop, I'm like, no. It's like, no. Offensive line puts his helmet into my son's knee. It's called a chop or a cut block. Should be illegal. The kid on the other team, he's doing what he's being coached to do. Personally, I think the coach on the other team is a coward. You'd be teaching your kids that garbage, but hey, he's the coach and I'm not. So my son goes down. See, the context is my son had double knee surgery in December. He's been working hard to come back. It's tough when you have these double knee surgeries and you can't work out. Well, last night I walk onto the field. I was like, okay, he's done. He's probably done with the season. Ambulance comes, we take him to the hospital, and man, it was tough. You know, as a parent, you see your child go down, and in public, like I'm like, son, slow your breathing. I'm like, breathe, and he's emotional and he's in tears because he knows he's probably done for the season. He's the big dog on campus. He's the 8th grader. That dude is a monster. His hands, his size, I'm like, oh, and he's just doing so well. And so we get to the hospital, and I'm being strong for him, and he's in tears, and look, if you're a parent, you've ever seen your children suffer, you know, right? You know. And then I walk out, and I sit down, and I just cry. I uncontrollably in tears, because I know, like, the pain for my son and his, not just physical pain, the physically hurts, but the mental and the emotional, like, if you've never competed in sports and you've never had an injury, it might be tough to understand, right? And so I'm sitting out there and the nurses are walking past. I'm a big dude, and I'm just like wiping my eyes, and I'm crying, and I can't stop. And sweet nurse walks up and she just she didn't even say a word. She looks at me and like she mouths the word, "It'll be okay." I'm like, yes, it will. So I had a lot of people reach out, friends, family. It's good. Like, I needed to hear that it's going to be okay. Now, listen, why am I sharing this podcast? You understand that as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, as a parent, as a human being, you have goals and aspirations. You have things you want to do. And you're going to have, quote, that injury. You're going to have something that stops you, like physically and or literally or figuratively. You're going to hit a downturn in the economy. You're going to see a recession. You're going to see interest rates spike. You're going to see people stop buying. You're going to have people steal your clients. You're going to have people close to you steal from you. Things are going to happen outside of your control. So when you have these injuries and these discouragements, these setbacks and these tragedies, I'm going to share with you some of the things that I shared with my son last night. Listen, every setback can be a comeback. In fact, it has to be. Your setback, your injury, the divorce, the child or spouse who's got cancer, the Maui fires, right? The hurricanes. We got hurricanes going on right now at the time I'm shooting this. The setback becomes the comeback. The tragedy becomes the triumph. And people are like, well, it's easy to say. Look, you have to remember, like, every person of greatness, they were great not because the path was easy, not because they had all the answers. They were great because in the moments of trial and tribulation, in the moments of fire and darkness and discouragement, they rose. They made up their mind, right? They kept their mindset intact, and they said, I'm going to come back. So that's the first thing. You have to say, I'm coming back from this. We've talked about this in other podcasts, PPST, right? Powerful, positive self-talk. That declaration, I'm coming back from this. I'm coming back stronger, right? That declaration begins a process of creation. Literally just saying it and seeing it and feeling it and thinking it, right? There's a lot of science in that the rewiring begins. So declare it. I'm coming back from this stronger. I'm going to come back better. We coming back from this. Number 2, lean on people. Now, my son has to literally lean on me. He's a big boy, and I'm grateful that I am bigger and stronger. So I got to get him in my truck. We got to get him off my truck. We got to put him on crutches. Got to help him in the shower, help him out of the shower, make sure he doesn't slip. Got to get him into bed, lift his leg. I mean, the dude's like a college-sized kid already. Not even high school, college size. And he's got to lean on us. Now, if you're going through tragedy and you're going through tribulation and tough times, you're going to be tempted to just isolate. Isolation is a tool of the devil. Isolation is something that does not work. Isolation, don't do it. You got to ask for help. You got to lean on me. You got to lean on people. So Israel gets to lean on mom and dad and all the aunties and uncles and all the people. Like, don't ever say no. And, there's a human ego. There's a pride factor that's like, oh, I can do it. I don't need help. When I had my Achilles surgery in 2019, I leaned on people. I'm like, can you get me that, please? I could have got a lot of stuff, but I'm like, can you grab that for me, please? And you just got to be kind about it. So if you're going through something in your marriage and it's not working, or your spouse are figuring it out, it's okay to lean on other people. Some of you are like, I don't want to tell anyone about what I'm going through. What? Because you're what? Afraid? You cannot tell me that if someone called you right now and said, I need your help, you wouldn't be like, I got you. What do you need? What do you need? We're so quick to go help others, but we're so slow to ask for help. So, right, lean on people. Number 1, declare the result and say it. I'm coming back from this. You got to see it. You got to feel it. You got to believe it. You got to say it. You got to visualize it. You got to hear it. We're coming back stronger. This is going to be an amazing story. Number 2, lean on people. Lean on others. Ask for help. We've had plenty of podcasts. This is one of our core curriculum principles. Ask and receive. Number 3, remember, if it does not burn you, it will not build you. That perspective, remember the perspective. This is how people get stronger. I feel bad for the guy. There's a story about, a bunch of NBA vets, or dudes who are in the National Basketball Association. And they're talking about this kid who came up through high school and then came up through college, and he was like, silver spoon, and he got into the practice. And everyone on the court said, we're going to F this dude up. We're going to show this kid what it's like to not be silver spoon fed. And the dude quit. He had never faced adversity. He'd never got punched in the mouth. He had never been in a place where he was forced to develop grit and thick skin. Remember the perspective. If it does not burn you, it will not build you. And the hotter the fire, right? The darker the abyss, the more painful and challenging the obstacle, the greater the opportunity and the rise. I've seen this in my own life, my friends. Losing everything, Achilles surgery, having people steal from me, having people sue me. I know. Is why I giggle, right? When COVID happened in 2020, and again, I wasn't laughing at people, but I'm like, oh, we're at this. I've been here before. Oh, wait, I lost it all. I got burned. I was like, cool. We doubled down on our efforts. We doubled down on our business. We never stopped. We had the most amazing couple years during that run. Why? Because I knew in every adversity, there is an opportunity. There are seeds of greatness. So take a look at your life. Look at your life right now. Just ask yourself, how's your powerful, positive self-talk? Your declarations, are you declaring? Are you stating out loud, we're coming back from this. We're going to get better from this. We're learning from this. We're getting better from this. It's okay. Number 2, are you leaning on coaches, mentors, family, friends, people in your church, people in your community? When someone says, please let me know what I can do to help, let them know. Ask. And then number 3, the perspective. You got to keep this perspective on of it's burning me. So based upon my choices and how I choose to see this, it's building me. My whole life has been like this. When times are good, anybody can sail on the ocean when there's no waves. But give them some storms, give them some thunder, give them some lightning, give them some big ass waves. And guess what? We get to see what you're really made of. So if you're building a business right now, if you're on a spiritual journey right now, if you're striving to lose weight and get more fit and healthy right now, if you're in a marriage where you're striving for another level of intimacy and greatness right now, let the adversity almost heal you. I know, adversity, what are you talking about? Heal, Setema. Let it heal you. Let it help you. Let it bring you to higher planes of possibility. To my son, we gonna get better from this. I have no doubt. To all the athletes out there going through this, we gonna get better. It's part of the game. It's part of life. You can't control a lot of things out there, but you can control how you speak about it, the help you ask for, and maintaining a perspective, and then doing the work, right? You gotta come back. You gotta do the work. We gotta go do what's required to get what we desire. Thank you for listening to the podcast. Thank you for being here. Like, if this makes a difference for you, share it with somebody. And until next time, go be a game changer. Go make a difference. Go be a beacon, a lover, a leader, and a lighthouse. I'm out.
Let's go. See, it's more than the game that we changing. We don't do it for the block, do it for the name. Yeah. No, there ain't no stopping it. If you really want it, better rock with it. This is how to be a